woke up, but your body still feels tight. There's this quiet pressure sitting in your chest, like something unresolved is waiting for you before the day even begins. You check your phone, maybe your bank account, and before anything even happens, the stress is already there. Maybe you've been thinking, how am I going to make this work? Or what if something else goes wrong? And you haven't said it out loud, but part of you feels tired of carrying this alone, because financial stress isn't just numbers, it's emotional. It follows you into your mornings, sits beside you during meals, and whispers to you at night when everything else gets quiet, slowly draining your peace in a way that's hard to explain but impossible to ignore. And the hardest part? It makes everything feel uncertain. Even small things start to feel heavy. Decisions feel loaded. And your mind doesn't really rest. It just pauses before the next wave of worry comes in. But right here, I want you to notice something. You're still here, still breathing, still trying. And that matters more than you think. Because what you're feeling right now isn't weakness. It's the weight of caring. It's the pressure of responsibility. It's what happens when you've been holding too much for too long without a place to release it. So just for a moment, don't try to fix anything. Just sit here. You don't have to solve your entire life in this moment. You just have to be honest about how heavy it's been. And allow yourself to admit that you've been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. And maybe this is the first shift. Not solving everything, but finally allowing yourself to stop pretending that it's not heavy. You've been trying to hold everything together. And it makes sense why. Because somewhere along the way, it started to feel like your stability depends entirely on what you can produce, what you can earn, what you can control. Maybe you've been telling yourself, if I just work harder, if I just figure this out, then I'll finally feel safe. But even when you try, that sense of peace doesn't really stay. Because deep down, something still feels uncertain. And this is where a quiet shift begins. Your job, your income, your opportunities, they are channels, but they are not your source. There's a difference. Because channels can change. They can slow down, disappear, or feel unpredictable. But your source, the one who sustains your life, doesn't fluctuate based on numbers or circumstances, and isn't limited by what you currently see in front of you. And maybe no one has said this to you in a way that really settled into your heart. Your employer signs your paycheck, but God is the one who sustains your life. That means your provision was never meant to be confined to one path, one outcome, or one visible stream, because what flows through your life is not ultimately determined by a system, but by a provider who sees beyond what you can measure. So when everything feels tight, it doesn't mean everything is gone. It might just mean your trust has been sitting in the wrong place. And that's not something to feel guilty about. It's something to gently realign. Because when your trust is tied only to what you can calculate, fear will always have something to say. But when your trust begins to shift back to God, something opens. A different kind of peace. A deeper sense of stability. Not because everything is already solved, but because you're no longer depending on something fragile to hold your life together. So, just sit with this for a second. What if your provision isn't as limited as it feels right now? What if there are open doors, unseen opportunities, quiet forms of favor already moving? Even if you can't fully see them yet, you don't have to force yourself to believe it all at once. Just let the possibility in. Because this is where things begin to shift. Gratitude can feel almost impossible right now. Because when something is missing, your mind naturally focuses on what's not there, what's overdue, what's uncertain, and it keeps pulling your attention back to the gap. Maybe you've even thought, what is there to be thankful for when things feel this tight? And that's honest. But gratitude, in moments like this, isn't about pretending everything is okay. It's about gently shifting your attention. Just enough to remember that not everything is gone, even if some things feel uncertain right now. Because, look closely, you're still here. You made it through yesterday. There are still small provisions holding your life together. Maybe it's a meal you had, a place to rest, a moment of quiet that gave your mind a break. They might seem small, but they're not nothing. And something powerful begins to happen when you acknowledge what is still present. Because gratitude doesn't deny the lack, it widens your awareness, so the lack is no longer the only thing you can see. So just for a moment, softly shift your focus. Not to everything you wish was different, but to one thing that is still being provided. And if it feels hard, start simple. Thank you for getting me through today. That's enough. Because gratitude, even in its smallest form, begins to open something inside you. It loosens the grip of fear, it quiets the urgency in your thoughts, and it creates space for peace to enter where panic used to sit. And slowly, almost quietly, you begin to feel a different kind of energy. Not forced positivity, not denial, but a subtle sense of alignment. Like something inside you is no longer collapsing under pressure, but beginning to steady itself, even before the situation changes on the outside. Stay here for a moment longer. Let that gratitude, even if it's small, settle in your chest. Because this is where the shift deepens. Not when everything increases, but when your awareness expands. And from here, something begins to open. Now, let's bring this into a moment of prayer. You don't have to sound perfect. You don't have to fix your tone. Just stay where you are and breathe. God, I'm tired of carrying this. There are numbers I keep replaying in my head, bills I don't know how to handle, and this constant pressure that doesn't really leave me, even when I try to rest. You already see it, you already know, and right now, I don't want to hold it all by myself anymore. So I'm bringing it to you. Take a moment and picture what's been weighing on you. That bill. That amount, that fear you haven't said out loud. Just hold it in your mind for a second. And now, slowly, imagine placing it into God's hands. Not throwing it away, not ignoring it, but releasing the weight of it, because you were never meant to carry this alone. God, I release the pressure to have everything figured out. I release the fear that I'm running out of time. I release the panic that tells me I'm not going to be okay. And even if part of me still feels unsure, I'm choosing to trust you here. You are my provider. Not just in what I can see, but in ways I don't fully understand yet. And I believe you are already working behind the scenes, opening doors I can't see, making a way I haven't discovered yet, bringing provision in ways I didn't expect. Right now, I let go of the need to control everything. I let go of trying to carry tomorrow, today, and I place this moment, this need, this situation into your hands. Take a slow breath here. Let your shoulders drop. You don't have to grip it so tightly anymore. And before we continue, I want you to do something simple. Type this, or whisper it softly. I release what I can't carry. Just that. Again, I release what I can't carry. Because something is happening right now. Even if nothing has changed on the outside yet, something inside you is loosening. The weight is shifting, and just like in the moment where 5 loaves and 2 fish didn't look like enough, God has never needed enough to begin multiplying what's been placed in His hands. So what you've just released is not being lost, it's being repositioned. Stay here for a second longer. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're being carried, even now. Now that you've released some of that weight, there's space for something new to come in. Clarity, direction. Because provision isn't only about what comes to you, it's also about how you walk with what you're given. So, stay in this quiet place. God, I don't just need help, I need wisdom. There are decisions in front of me that feel heavy. Choices that affect my future, my stability, my peace. And sometimes I don't know what the right move is. I've been reacting out of pressure, out of urgency, out of fear. But I don't want to live like that anymore. So right now, I'm asking you for something deeper. Not just provision, but perspective. Help me slow down. Help me see clearly what I've been rushing past. Help me recognize the difference between an open door and something that only looks urgent. Because not everything that feels pressing is aligned. Give me discipline, not in a harsh way, but in a steady, grounded way. The kind that helps me manage what I already have, instead of constantly feeling like it's slipping through my hands. God, teach me how to handle what you entrust to me, even if it feels small right now. I want to treat it with care, because I trust that what I steward well can grow. And if there are habits, patterns, or decisions I've been making that are quietly working against me, gently show me. Not with shame, but with clarity. I'm open to change, even if it's uncomfortable at first, even if it requires me to do things differently than I'm used to. Because I don't just want temporary relief, I want real alignment. Take a slow breath here. Let this settle. You don't have to rush your next step. You don't have to panic your way into answers. And here's something to anchor into. Wisdom creates space for breakthrough, not loud, not rushed, but steady. So before we move on, I want you to say this. Type it, or whisper it slowly. I am receiving wisdom for my next step. Again, I am receiving wisdom for my next step. Let those words land, because something is shifting. Not just in what you're asking for, but in how you're preparing to walk forward. And that changes everything. Something is already different, even if your situation hasn't fully changed yet, because the way you're seeing it is beginning to shift, and that matters more than you think. For a long time, you may have been living in survival mode, watching every number, bracing for the next expense, expecting things to go wrong before they even happen. And slowly, without realizing it, that pressure can turn into a mindset, a quiet belief that says there's never enough. But that belief is not your truth. It's a pattern, and patterns can be broken, because abundance isn't just about having more. It's about seeing differently. It's about realizing that your life is not confined to limitation, and that what flows toward you is not solely determined by what you currently see, but also by what you're aligned with internally. So right now, we gently shift again, from scarcity to trust, from fear to expectation, not forced, not fake, but intentional. God, help me step out of the mindset that says I will always struggle. Help me release the belief that I'm stuck, that things can't change, that this is all there is, because I'm ready to see differently, ready to receive differently, ready to believe that there is more available to me than what I've been expecting. And even if it feels unfamiliar, I'm willing to grow into it. Take a breath here. Notice what's happening inside you. There's a little more space now, a little less tightness, maybe even a small sense of peace starting to settle in. And this is where favor begins to move. Not always in loud, obvious ways, but in quiet alignments. Right place, right timing, right connection. Open doors that didn't seem visible before. You don't have to chase everything. You just have to stay open and stay aligned. So before we close, anchor this inside you. Type it or say it slowly. I am stepping into peace and provision. Again, I am stepping into peace and provision. Let that sit in your heart. Because you're not walking in circles anymore. You're moving forward. And even if it's one small step at a time, it's still movement. Stay here for a moment. Notice your breathing. Slower now, softer. Something inside you has settled, even if just a little. You didn't fix everything. The numbers may still be there, but you're not carrying them the same way anymore. And that's the shift. Not perfection, not instant answers, but peace, beginning to take its place. Because what changed today wasn't just your situation, it was your posture. You stopped holding everything alone. You opened your hands. You allowed God back into the space where fear was speaking the loudest. And from that place, something new begins. A quieter mind, a steadier heart, a growing trust that says, I don't have to panic anymore. God is here, not distant, not waiting for you to figure it all out first, but present, even in this moment, guiding you, sustaining you, working in ways you can't fully see yet. So as you move into the rest of your day, you don't have to rush. You don't have to carry tomorrow all at once. Just take the next step with peace, with trust. And if the worry tries to come back later, you already know where to bring it. You don't have to hold it anymore. Before we close, one last gentle declaration. Type it or whisper it slowly. I trust you to provide for me. Again, I trust you to provide for me. Let that be your anchor today. Not fear, not pressure, but trust. You are not alone in this, and something has already begun to change.